Hello everyone, this is Dan with Arcade Funkade. Today we're going to show you guys a video of the Centipede arcade. We're going to show you guys more of an in-depth look in how to use the Centipede and how to start it up, get it going. Right now we just turned it on. What we did was we just plugged it into the wall and all the machine literally turns on. The monitor turns on, all the lighting and stuff is all ready to go. Marquee turns on, and what you do is to turn on the computer, because you have to go in and you press the on button down here. There's a little on button. And while we're here, I'm going to show you that there's a little on and off switch here in order to turn on the lighting. What that does, this little switch here, turns on the top buttons, turns them on and off. So we're going to leave them off, but I just wanted to show you guys how to turn them on and off. You have the power button here, and while we're down here, I'm going to show you that there's a plunger button down here as well. It's a little Centipede themed plunger button for the pinball machine games. There's also pinball machine buttons on the sides, and that's so with this guy you're gonna have once you plug the machine in, you just gotta wait for it to load up. The monitor will turn on, top marquee will turn on, and that'll then allow you to you'll be able to see in here, and your computer will be completely off. And all you do is just press your on button, everything lights up, and you just gotta wait for it to turn on. Right now, I turned it on right before we started the video, so we wouldn't have to wait too long, but it takes a little bit to load up. There's a lot of stuff in that thing trying to load up, so a lot going on. In the meantime, what I wanted to do is show you guys the interior of the actual coin door. So the coin door itself has the coin mix built in, so you have your full-on dual coin slot mechanism. And with this guy, I'm going to show you guys how the quarters actually go through. So you have these mechs in here. What we're going to do is just throw a quarter into one of these fellas. There you go. And I'm going to let it go. And you're going to see how it comes out of the bottom of this tray here. So when it went down, it flicks this little switch, and it allows you to get a contact in to get the quarter to go in and give you a credit. Same idea with the other side. I can actually go in and catch that guy. So it's pretty neat. So what we have is a little coin catcher inside, and that's going to catch all the coins. All the arcade machine games have a credit system on them, so you can use the quarters for games like that. There's consoles inside of the arcade that just use a start button up top, or a start button on your control panel. While we're here, I'm going to show you this Microsoft little Xbox 360 controller remote. And what that guy does is that it allows the Xbox controller to connect to the PC itself. And it seems like this guy lit up. It's ready to go. So today we're gonna be showing you guys again more of an in-depth look of how to use the coin doors, how to use the system overall, how to go into certain things, and you see this guy trying to load up Steam. I'm just gonna close that out. There's some software on here that's supposed to be running. It has and it's running now. It's Joy 2 key, so we need that to keep your joysticks on. So you want to leave these guys on the lower bar at all times. This is a listener. This is a Pixelcade listener little program, and what that guy does is that it allows and ties in the marquee to the hyperspin system. So what that's doing is that it's allowing it to read its files and know what game is on what. So before I jump into hyperspin, I want to show you guys this video and how to jump in and go about messing around and playing with other games offline and or online. So with this guy, you can actually go down here, and you just double click with your little Centipede button here, or single click, and it'll pop up all the wireless connections you have. We have a wireless Wi-Fi connection in the machine itself, so you could pretty much pick up Wi-Fi wherever you're at your home. And I'm going to close this guy out. We're not going to go online right now, but just want to show you that we can do that. You could also download new stuff. You want to download like Epic Games for Fortnite and all the other games, and to kind of keep current with newer games, you could go on there and just download whatever game you want. Again, you got to buy them, got to pay for them, but you got to you'll have the ability to do that. Steam itself, you can actually go on Steam. I was just trying to update itself, but Steam itself, you could jump in there and download any game you like and add it to your collection here. So on the desktop right now, we're showing Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. We have the pinball arcade games. We have the Halo Master Chief Edition. We have some Simpsons games that we downloaded. It was free. and an Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 game. And while we're here, I'm going to show you guys how to play this Simpsons game. That's going to be one of the. You're going to double click on that fella. This is one that people ask about. Simpsons. You're going to highlight this little folder here. You're going to double click on that fella. It's going to ask you if you want to run it or not, and you just highlight run with your little trackball. Use that fella. Highlight it. Left click. Use your again, the Centipede button's key for that. That's going to be your left click, and it will automatically light up. Now, while we're here, again, there's so many things that this thing does, and so many little ins and outs. So this guy will allow you to play the game. It's just press start game. And what this guy does is that it'll play the game. It'll play the game like normal, and that's all good in that. But you'll notice that the marquee is dead. And the reason why it's dead is because it's on standby, waiting for Hyperspin to move, to run, to do its thing. Now, the trick that I found with these machines is in order to have that marquee light up when you're just playing PC games, you just want to make it look cool and just sit around, is that you want to jump in. Oh, we're at the point where we could actually choose our character. We're going to choose Krusty. So when you're in Hyperspin and you're playing your games and that, and you jump out, it'll then keep your Centipede will turn on. It'll turn on and do its thing. And what's cool about that is that once you exit Hyperspin and you come back, and we're going to do that. We're going to show you guys how that works. So like this game started up and all that good stuff. We're going to jump out of this fella. We're just going to press the exit button. We have a little exit button here. I'm going to press that guy, the gun. Let's see that. I think I'm actually giving myself credits. Oh, I think I have to go to the main menu, actually. Yep. Got to go back to end game. Highlight end game. So with the PC games, it's a whole different deal. You don't just press exit and jump out. So there's more to it. So now, once we get to the main menu, we can press exit and then jump out. So now we're back. We're back to our main desktop. And what I'm going to do is close that guy out. And you can see like these guys too. All you got to do is just highlight them, just double click, and it'll light up the game. And same idea. We're going to jump in and out of these guys just to kind of show you guys how they work, how they light up, how long they take, things like that. And how, just to show you guys overall how the games just kind of just work and how clear they are too. That's another thing to kind of show you guys how cool they are. Whoop. We're loading up here. It's taking a little bit. So because we're in offline, I think it's just taking a little bit longer than normal. And we're still waiting. For some reason, it's not loading up. Maybe it's because I jumped in and out of that game too fast. So anyway, the main objective is to jump in to the system. So what we're going to do is I think it's what all this is doing is holding off until we turn on Hyperspin. So in order to jump into Hyperspin and watch this game turn on right when we jump into Hyperspin, we're going to jump into Hyperspin by highlighting the little icon down there that says Hyperspin, and we're going to double click. It's gonna load up Hyperspin. It takes about 4 or 5 seconds here, and once it lights up, you'll see that the marquee up top actually gives you a welcome sign. Welcome. There you go. And you'll see that guy running. Welcome and game on. So it's welcoming us into the arcade. So then the Centipede marquee finally kicks in, and it's all connected now to all the games. So as we're again scrolling through the system, it'll change to a default setting. So if we don't have the artwork for a particular file, it'll actually go to a default arcade finish, and or Centipede. It'll just kind of go back and forth. So if you have that, show Sega Classics. You see that guy? It's Centipede again. SNK shows Neo Geo. So that's kind of cool. So what we're going to do is we wanted to show you guys MAME, the MAME system. Again, that guy goes straight up arcade. And this guy's going to go, we're going to go into just any game. I wanted to show you guys two different menu styles. So as we jump into the game, it gives you a little run through what we got. Maybe playing Punch Out here. We're gonna show you guys how to adjust the coin setup on these guys. Sometimes they're 25 cents, they're 50 cents, depending on what you want to do. Again, at home, everybody sets these things up for different ideas. And here we are with a Punch Out. So I want to show you guys that we have a coin button up top on the controller. So you have a coin button for player 1 and a coin button for player 2, which is exactly what this gun is actually. Player 2, we have our exit button there. And what we're going to do is you're going to put some coins in there. And you can see when I press this, you have the coins go up there. You have the credits. So the other thing to do is we have a little keyboard here. You press the tab button and it opens up a menu here. And on this menu, you can actually control it with your joysticks then. You go up and down, you go to dip switches, and you press the start or enter button, which is funny because this is actually the enter and it's a start button as well. So you press that fella, it jumps in, it'll tell you, it'll ask you. You can actually mess around with the difficulty settings, the coins. You can just press right or left on the joystick, and just go left or right, and you can adjust your credits to according to whatever you like. So that's really neat. And once you jump out, once you adjust your credit, you simply press tab and get out of there. Now every game's a little different. Some of them you have to turn on. There's a service mode like this guy has here. Has a little service mode. If you press right, now the game will actually go into a service menu. So if you press on, this one just doesn't have it because the actual system is on there now. But if you have like a Williams game, like a Mortal Kombat, NBA Jam, any of those games, you'll actually have that. So we're going to jump out of this and go to one of the Williams games to show you what we're talking about. And there's so many more adjustments on those games. It's not even funny. It's just so much stuff's going on to that fella. So we're going to go to Mortal Kombat. In fact, I should probably go. It's always a little faster to go from the top down. So we're going to go to Mortal Kombat 2. We're going to jump into that guy. Press start. Again, I love the marquee. It's freaking nuts. Interactive marquee. So what we're going to do here is we're going to press tab right now. And it's going to say input this machine. Now this input this machine, overall, a lot of people don't explain this guy. You actually have to go in and look around. But dip switches this machine. I'm sorry, input this machine. What this guy does is that it allows you press enter. It allows you to show, it shows you all of the what every button is for and what each button on the keyboard does what. So low kicks, let's say player 1 low kick is button Z. Player 2 down is button F. So many little things in here, so it's pretty cool. To jump out of this, you just press up, go to return menu, press enter. And again, enter is your far left button. We're going to go back down to dip switches. And here's your test switch. So here's where you have your coinage. You can change out coin counters, bill validator. If you don't have that, it doesn't matter, it's okay. Low blows, blood, you can turn all that stuff off, violence and all that stuff. Service mode on and off. So service mode and test switch, depending on the game, it all depends on what they originally asked for. So we're going to try test mode. I'm going to press right and see if it goes to the service mode screen. And it does. Check that out. Once you go here, you can press tab on your keyboard again, and it'll turn off that dip switch, the dip switch screen. So you can turn it on and off with the press of the tab button there. And with this guy, you can actually go in there and go into the actual game adjustments in the game itself. And you're going to press start in this guy. And you can do standard pricing, custom pricing, and you can change it to whatever you like. Free play, computer difficulty. There's so many little things to do in there. going to return to main menu, utilities, volume adjustments. You can adjust the volume specifically for this game. There's so many little cool things you could do on this guy. So what's funny about this is that people, they make their adjustments, but they don't know how to get back onto this guy. They're like, yeah, I made it this far. What do I do? And you get to this screen here, and it says diagnostic switch is closed. It's like, it says press any button to return to the test game or open the switches to return to game. And I've had a couple people get stuck on this guy, and no matter what button, no matter how many times you press the start button, and I'm gonna return to main menu, then again it says exit to test menu. Again, they press it again, they go back to the same place. They're like, dude, just going in circles. So the idea with this guy is to go and press the tab button again. So we're gonna do that. Tab, and it says service mode on. Right? Now on your keyboard, you could press left, or on the joystick, using the joystick, you could press left and turn off service mode. Turning it off. And from there, you go to return to previous menu. You press start button. And, enter button. I always get those mixed up. And then we're going to go press back up. It's going to say return to machine. And you're back to your machine, but now your switch is closed, right? So now you can go back, because we turned off the switch menu in that dip switch setting. Now we go to exit test menu and press start. So I guess when it's dealing with the arcade, you got to use start. But when you're using the dip switch setting in the tab settings, you got to press enter. So with this guy, we're going to press enter or start, and it's going to jump us back out and restart the machine. So it's a little bit of a headache to do it, but it's definitely doable. It's kind of complicated. You do it a couple times, and it's super easy. Maybe the way we explained it was a little long, but it's definitely more of an in-depth way of doing it, and you can change out whatever you need to. So what we're gonna do, and again, you could go to change whatever you need to in these guys. We're gonna go to NBA Jam next, and show you guys a cool thing about that guy. A cool thing going on with that guy. Let's see, element. We gotta go the other way. And what we're gonna do is go to NBA Jam Tournament Edition. We're jumping into that fella. We're gonna show you guys something that we've been seeing here. Like we build the two. Oh, so you go. You see the systems that are 2 players or 4 players, and sometimes you get stuck playing on the same team, and most people, they want to play against each other. So we're going to show you guys how to go from two player and 4 player games. So on this system, when you start up a game, let's say we throw a bunch of credits in this guy. All right, going to throw some credits. Start a game up, and you'll see that it says player 1 has thrown a credit in, right? Start. Now we're going to press player 2. And if we are on a 2-player game, we're going to be on each other's team. But if you do a 4-player setup, you're going to be against each other. So this may be on a 4-player setup already. So it's on a 2-player right now. So because of the fact that it shows that guy. So what we're going to do is we're going to do that thing I showed you guys with a tab button. Press the tab, and we're going to go down here, and we're going to go to dip switches. And what we're going to do is we're going to just press the enter button, this guy on the left. And it says players, 4 players. You're going to go down, and you're going to switch that with the joystick. Just got to press it left, and it's going to go to 2 players. And from there, just keep going down to return to previous menu. Again, press your enter button. It goes to dip switches. Go to return to machine. In fact, let's go back to dip switches and push reset. And we're going to press enter. We're going to reset the game. So it's going to restart. And now it's going to restart as a 2-player game, and you're going to be on opposing teams. So right now it's set up on 4-player game. There's a 4-player setup, so you could be on each other's team. So right now, I'm going to throw some quarters in. I already had a bunch of quarters. Press start, And now we have this menu. So when you have the 2 menu, you're on 2 player. The 4 press start 4 player, that's obviously in a 4 player. So sometimes you get stuck on the 4 player and you can't play against each other. That's the way to change it. So that's the way to do it. Now with this guy, what we're just going to do is just do our thing here. Oh, I should have pressed no. But there we go. We're going to just choose our dudes. Wants us to use up the remaining credits. We're going to press the start buttons. Game's going to start up. We got the NBA Jam Tournament Edition thing going on up top. Game start. Now you're going to see that you have your guys on opposing teams. So this is something that's happened a couple times where you're on the same team. And again, all you got to do is do the same thing we just did to just kind of jump out of having that. So now you have player 1, player 2, opposing teams. And there you have it. There's that little bit of info, or hopefully that helps somebody out there. And what's neat about this, guys, the same idea. You can jump in and out and add the credits and change credits out by going behind the scenes in that menu. Now I'm going to press exit, jump out of this guy, and I'm going to go to another game that I discovered called Frenzy. And it's just a regular game, but what I liked about it was that I can show you guys a different style menu that pops up every once in a while. It's a little different than most, and the idea behind this video is to show you guys, in case you've ever run into stuff like this, you'll know what to do, you know. So this guy, Frenzy, right? We're gonna jump into that guy. Press start. It's gonna load up. And this guy has a different menu than the NBA Jams and the Punch Out and all that stuff. There's a different deal with this fella. So this guy's loading up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press some credits, put some credits in there, and you press tab, and I'm going to go to the dip switches, turn that guy on. You know what? This may not be the same game that I had. Dang it. Hold on. This is actually not the game I was trying to... I think it was Football Frenzy or something. Damn it. It must have been Football Frenzy. Well, either way, I think it was Football Frenzy. So you jump into these games, and what ends up happening is that you have a different menu, and you have to jump out of the menu. So you actually have to turn on the dip switch and then go in and start using the buttons according to what you have. And I don't even believe this was the right game. Dang it. So yeah, so we got a little confusion there. It was a special game. I remember seeing it. It was called Frenzy or something. There were so many games on this thing, so I got blown away, and thrown off with all this stuff. Dip switches. Let's see if that happens. And this guy, controller, joystick. Yeah, so there's so many settings you could do in this thing. See, free play. You go in there, change out free play on and off, and or turn it off, and all of a sudden you can do all kinds of other stuff. So setting mode. If you go to that guy and press right, sometimes it turns on a whole different menu. And sometimes the menu doesn't turn on right away, so we're going to do a little test. You go to reset, you press enter, and it resets it. And sometimes it goes to a service screen. There you go, service screen. So this has actually helped out. So you guys can see like some of the stuff that happens. Setting up hard dip switch and regular dip switches. So we're going to let's see, soft dip switches. Let's see if that does anything. Sometimes these games just don't allow you to do something, or sometimes they do. It all depends on what the setup is on these guys. But sometimes, like these Neo Geo games, they're a little bit different. And Neo Geo is the actual setup that we have for. Oh, I got to turn that back off. The service mode. So that service mode is unusable. Setting mode on and off. So depending on the cabinet, different styles. So you do have some limitations at times of what you can do with certain games. But like the Neo Geo stuff, that's kind of like all preset. So I'm noticing that they do have a free play setup. So if you do go to dip switches, they do have the free play option like we talked about there. So that's neat that they have that. So that's neat. But yeah, so there's there's that. We're going to jump back out. And or while we're here, I'm going to show you guys how the coin works. So now we have Steam finally kick in. We're gonna kick this thing out. Thank God we have the trackball. And we're gonna end up exiting out of this thing and jumping back in. So if you ever have Steam trying to jump in and do that thing, all you got to do is jump in and out of your game. Well, while we're jumping in and out of stuff, sometimes you have things loading up like that. It's very rare, but it happens. So jumping back into Football Frenzy, I want to show you guys how the coin mechanism works. And these guys, again, credit 1. We're going to use quarter. I think there's a credit 2. Same idea with this guy. Going to throw a quarter in. Credit 3. So just wanted to show you guys how the quarters work in that. But show you guys some of the gameplay. Oh, and your buttons are set up to A, B, C, D, E, F, and or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the top row is always going to be your main buttons to play with. You're going to have button 1 and 2 or A, B. They're always going to be your jump, fire buttons, all that good stuff. So there's going to be a lot of different setups. Mortal Kombat, Super Street Fighter, all those games utilize all 6 buttons per player, and that's really neat. So you can really do a lot of you can pretty much control every game with these 2 buttons or 3 buttons or 4 buttons. So with Neo Geo, like these games, you require 4 buttons at times depending on the game, 2 buttons or just 3 buttons. So it all depends. And there's games like, let's see, like, oh, there we go, like Gauntlet and all that stuff that we were talking about. Sometimes these games are the ones that require Gauntlet, the original, it has 4 players. You actually require a specific coin hole for every player. So that's kind of funny. There is a setting in there as well in the dip switches to make it a 2-player game. So then you can just go in and choose any one of the fighters you want to play with. So that's really cool. There's so many games in this guy. There's so many things. Again, everything has to be configured to be able to play with these controllers. So that's really, really the hardest part. Getting everything to work with just 6 buttons and a couple coin buttons. So that's where we're at with this guy. So yeah, the majority of the games, all of them actually work. It's a big accomplishment on our end. Lots of stuff going on. Man, that's really awesome. I just ran across some cool stuff here. And the artwork, we have artwork constantly getting worked on, and we have stuff like this guy, Fantasia, and all these other crazy things. There's I think Final Fury. I just passed that thing up. Fatal Fury, sorry. And that's really awesome. What a cool graphic. So each one of these guys, I think we mentioned that before. Each one of the artwork panels that are coming up when we're showing the games, the marquee panel image is all handmade. Our guy Al at Pixelcade. Check them out at pixelcade.com. These guys are all hand done. So this guy has been just making thousands and thousands of images, one at a time. Man, my hat's off and a salute to that dude. That dude's a freaking monster for doing this. But tons of stuff is going on with these machines, and there's so much going on with all these games and so many files working at the same time. It's freaking nuts. So. Anyway, wanted to show you guys the ins and outs of this fella. We're going to jump back out. This is the arcade main system only. We haven't even touched up on the consoles, the other files that show the rest of the game systems, like the Namco stuff, SNK. I mean, there's so much going on here. IREM. There's just so many files and game systems in these guys. It's not even funny. So you have Daphne in here. That guy's actually running. You see the Daphne up top too? You can see that guy's actually running all of the Laserdisc games like Space Ace, Dragon's Lair 1 and 2, Space Command, and just a ton of other stuff. And it's just super awesome. You're going to see this guy. You're going to see that there's just a ton of Laserdisc games. And there's Dragon's Lair. So that's really cool. May actually get the actual marquee of Dragon's Lair. That's pretty rad. Each one of these guys is actually in there. So that they did a really hellified job on these guys, getting these guys going. Yeah, you see that? It's really, really cool. And every one of these games is actually upgraded, so upconverted. So every game in the system is actually up converted, so it's ultra clear. It's like running at 1080i to 1080p, depending on the game. But yeah, it's running pretty damn clear, and it's just amazing. So I'm gonna have to jump into a game so you guys can see this. It's a little Dragon's Lair in here. Yeah, so these guys, this guy's pretty neat. This guy's as clear as can be, being that it's a laser disc game, and there's so much going on in this system, and so many things going on in this game. It's freaking nuts. So you just press your coin button here, you see your credits going up, and you can press your player 1 button, and you see it starting out, man. So it's super clear. You can see how it looks beautiful on there. So if anybody remembers this game, it's all about timing. And if I just screwed that one up. So I fell to my death. There we are. So right on, I just wanted to give you guys a little look, a little view on what Dragon's Lair looks like on this fella. So it's pretty cool, man. It's always different. It's nuts. It was always a pain in the ass to beat that game, or even play that game, let alone beat it. There's only one dude I know that could possibly beat that guy. His name is Todd Lilo. He's like, that dude's a monster. He came down and played the hell out of our Dragon's Lair and ripped the crap out of it. Love that guy for that. He's freaking awesome. And this guy, I forgot to mention my other guys here. Our lucky customer that picked this thing up. This guy's name is Gary Lovell. He's just awesome guy all around, super patient, amazing guy. Gave us so many ideas, and just threw us so many design ideas, and just so much came from this guy. We just couldn't. That whole marquee idea was totally Gary Lovell. We call him Fly Guy. He's the man. That guy is something else. He actually created this entire machine. He designed it, and it was his dream. We put it all together, and from everything, from the control panels, the placement of buttons, everything that he wanted, we pretty much put it all together. So we literally made his specific dream machine. So this is the machine. This is the overall design of Gary Lovell, Mr. Fly, aka the Fly Guy. So that's where we're at with this fella, man. He got the guns, he got everything on this guy, so it's pretty rad. We want to show you guys the backside. Again, we want to show you guys what happens when you get this fella. You get this guy in your house. We also have that LED bar across the back. We have a sensor here in the corner. You can change the colors on that guy. Let me grab that remote. There's a little remote that we have that all we do is just point it at this fella, and it just changes to different colors. Let me turn this light off in the back. Yeah, so you change it to different colors, and I don't know if this is the actual remote. It should have been. Oh, there you go. I had to get it on the right side. So yeah, you can change the colors to whatever you like: green, red, yellow, and it even has like a fade option. You could brighten or dim the colors on this fella as well. You can see the colors in this guy, the green, the purple. It's so bright when you just see it up there. So yeah, you can just change the colors to whatever color you like. So it's cool. It's just pretty much an LED light, and what we did was just build a bar so we could stick it to it. We zip tied it to it so it wouldn't fall off or fall away, and we put a little metal framing around so the wiring doesn't get yanked off, and that way you can easily change it out. We were gonna build it in and screw a hole right through it, but we're like, yeah, you know what? Let's build it on the exterior. In case it ever gets snagged, it dies, it burns out, just dies. You know, sometimes you never know, the dial just eat crap. And that guy's directly connected into the USB ports and the PC itself. And, you know, I'm going to turn this lights on. This light's on again.